Hello and welcome to video number 3. I'm really glad you've joined me again. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to be learning the second half of the old Irish song called Rattlin Bog. We learned the first half of this song in video number 2. So if you haven't watched the second video yet, I highly recommend that you go back and watch that one now because it's a very long song and you'll definitely want to learn the first part of the song before we go on today with the rest of it. But before we get to that, we are going to be doing our hand washing practice again. But today we're going to be using a new song. Now, I say a new song, but this is a song that's definitely not new to anybody who's watching this video, I'm guessing. But it is a very old song. In fact, this melody for this song is even older than the United States of America. Some people think that the melody for this song dates all the way back to the year 1740. Now, as I said, this is a song that you all know, and for many of you, this might even be your very favorite song, or perhaps it was years ago. This song is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, isn't that a song for very young children? But I don't think so. I think that once you know the history and the mystery behind this song, that you'll have a renewed appreciation for this song. So, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. As I was thinking about this song, I thought, well, this is great. I can talk about how Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, the very famous composer, wrote the melody for this song. Well, it turns out that might not be true. Let's talk a little bit more about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So Mozart was an Austrian composer. So from the country of Austria, and Austria is a country in the continent of Europe. Yes. So Mozart was prolific. He even started writing when he was as young as 4 years old. Can you imagine writing compositions at the age of 4? In fact, I think many of you probably have written songs as a very young child, and I would love to hear those songs sometimes. But that's one thing that's really, really unique and interesting about Mozart. So one little piece that you might have heard of Mozart's is this one from Eine kleine Nachtmusik. Here we go. I'll play a little snippet of Mozart's music. Love it. So many people think that Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was written by Mozart because he wrote a series of variations. That means different versions of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in the 1700s. Now, actually, probably closer to the 1780s. But it turns out that this was not original. He did not write that tune. In fact, it was based on a French folk song melody, and nobody knows who wrote this melody. But it was based on a song called Ah, vous direz-je, maman, which means, oh, shall I tell you, mommy? Isn't that fun? So Mozart wrote his variation on that folk song. Then, in 1806, there was a British poet, a woman by the name of Jane Taylor, who wrote a poem called The Star, and that was the lyrics to this song. But it's interesting, she wrote the poem in 1806, but the melody from that old French folk song and Jane Taylor's poem didn't get put together until closer to 1838. So isn't that interesting? I love hearing and learning more about the background of this song that we all know so well. And I love that it actually has a bit of mystery to it. and that so many think it was written by Mozart. But if somebody ever tells that to you, you can say, aha, no, I know the truth about it now. Yeah, so hey, let's do our hand washing practicing. Okay, so of course, I'm going to push up my sleeves. We start by turning on the water, getting our hands a little bit wet, turn off the water to save the water. And then let's begin. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Oh, we need soap. Got to remember that. Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. There we go. I really enjoyed learning all that stuff about all those facts and those bits of information about Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, because I love learning new things. And I especially love it when I think that I know something about anything, and then I discover that in fact there's way more to learn about that. And I think that that's the way our life in this world is. We can just keep learning and learning and learning throughout our whole lives, and that is so exciting, right? There's so many different things we can learn about in this huge world of ours. Well, speaking of learning, it's time to go on to the second half of Rattlin Bog. So, in this song, we were learning all about this very unique wetland in a valley in Ireland, right? And it wasn't just a regular bog, it was a Rattlin Bog. And in the Rattlin Bog, there was a tree. So, last time, we had learned that in that bog there was a tree, a rare tree, a Rattlin tree, right? And then on that tree there was anyone remember? On that tree there was a limb, a rare limb, of course, a Rattlin limb. And then on the next verse we learned that on that limb there was a branch, right? Hard to represent a branch. On the limb, there was a branch, a rare branch, a Rattlin branch. And that's where we left off. So let's take it from that verse, and then we'll learn more of the information about this interesting bog. Okay, here we go. So let's start out with a chorus. I bet you all remember it. I know I've had this song in my head ever since we sang it together the other day. Okay, so Oh, row the Rattlin Bog. 1, 2, here we go. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Now on that limb there was a branch, a rare branch, a Rattlin branch, with the branch on the limb and the limb on the tree and the tree and the bog down in the valley, oh. Chorus. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Okay, let's go on to our next verse. I wrote them all down again because, as I said, it's a very long song. Okay, so we have the branch. Now on that branch, there was a twig. What kind of a twig was it? A rare twig, a Rattlin twig. Okay, let's sing that. Now on that branch, there was a twig, a rare twig, a Rattlin twig, with the twig on the branch and the branch on the limb and the limb on the tree and the tree in the bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. All right, now on that twig there was a nest. Ooh, a rare nest, a rattlin nest. Let's sing that. Now on that twig there was a nest, a rare nest, a rattlin nest, with the nest on the twig and the twig on the branch and the branch on the limb, and the limb on the tree and the tree in the bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. All right, now in that nest there was what do you suppose could be in a nest? Yes, an egg, of course. So let's sing about that. It's a rare egg, a rattlin egg. Now in that nest there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattlin egg, with the egg in the nest and the nest on the twig and the twig on the branch and the branch on the limb, and the limb on the tree and the tree in the bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. All right, now in that egg there was what do you suppose? A crocodile? Nah, probably not in a tree, although crocodiles do come from eggs, right? And turtles, sea turtles. And maybe other kinds of turtles. I actually don't know if other kinds of turtles are born out of eggs as well. Maybe we could do some research about that. Okay, let's get back to the song. Good grief. I have so many questions, don't I? All right, so in this egg, there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattlin bird. This is verse 7. Now in that egg there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattlin bird, with the bird in the egg and the egg in the nest and the nest on the twig and the twig on the branch and the branch on the limb and the limb and the tree and the limb, oh boy, limb on the tree and the tree in the bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Here's the chorus. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. All right, here's verse 8. Now on that bird there was a feather, a rare feather, a rattlin feather. Let's sing it. Now on that bird there was a feather, a rare feather, a rattlin feather, with the feather on the bird and the bird in the egg and the egg in the nest and the nest on the twig and the twig on the branch and the branch on the limb and the limb on the tree and the tree in the bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Ooh, now we're to the 9th verse. Now on that feather there was a flea. Do any of you know what a flea is? Well, a flea is a tiny little bug, a little insect that likes to live on animals. All right, so on that feather there was a flea, a rare flea, a rattlin flea. Now on that feather there was a flea, a rare flea, a rattlin flea. Goodness, let's start that over again. I got distracted by my rattlin. Okay. On the feather. Now on that feather there was a flea, a rare flea, a rattlin flea, with the flea on the feather and the feather on the bird and the bird in the egg and the egg in the nest and the nest and the twig on the twig and the twig on the branch and the branch on the limb and the limb on the tree and the tree in the bog and the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley-o. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley-o. One more time. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley-o. Oh, row the Rattlin Bog, the bog down in the valley-o. Whew! Okay, next time, video number 4, we're going to sing the whole song all the way through. I'm going to have to practice some more before we do that. Oh my goodness. Those list songs, they're challenging but fun, huh? Okay, so here we go with our goodbye song again. Now, I have a special instrument I want to introduce to you with our goodbye song today. Here it is. Does anyone know what this instrument is called? You know, I thought it was called a xylophone, but it turns out it's not. There are many different sorts of percussion instruments that look like this, and I called my dear friend Krista in Minnesota, who's an expert on this type of instrument, and she let me know that this one, well, first about xylophones. Xylophones have wooden bars, but let me tell you, these bars are made out of metal. So this, in fact, is called a glockenspiel. And glockenspiel is a German word. So, my little baby loves to play this instrument, this little glockenspiel. And so I was playing with him earlier today, and I was playing around practicing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which you can play on a glockenspiel. And while I was playing around with the glockenspiel, I realized that you can play the melody to our goodbye song on the glockenspiel. So I was so excited to discover that. Remember that this melody is from the New World Symphony by... Ooh, does anyone remember what the composer's name was of the New World Symphony? It was Antonin Dvorak. Yes. So I wanted to share this with you. So I'm going to play the melody. Let's just listen to it first. All right, well, let's sing together. It starts, sing adieu. Here we go. Sing adieu, adios, now our music ends. Sayonara, guten Tag, mahalo, thank you, friends. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.